Hi there, welcome to another episode of On Stuff with Jeff, where I'm Jeff and I talk about my stuff. Today we're going to have an episode of Crypta Metallum where I discuss Indigenous representation in heavy metal. Last week it was Truth and Reconciliation Day and Orange Shirt Day, so I felt it was appropriate to talk about something that's important. It's certainly important to me. Orange Shirt Day is in commemoration of the experience of a little girl who was sent off to a residential school, and she went there with a nice, beautiful orange shirt that her grandmother made her. One of the first things they did when she arrived was they took her shirt, and she never saw it again. The whole plan behind the residential school system was to erase Indigenous identity completely from the Canadian experience and from the history books. So that would be nothing more than an anecdote of a lost, doomed, primitive people. While those people were wrong, we still exist. Indigenous people still exist. Languages still exist. Traditions still exist. That was the whole story behind the orange shirt. And Truth and Reconciliation is, there's two parts. There's an opportunity for Indigenous people to grieve, to tell their stories, and to tell people what happened. To feel pride at having survived over 150 years of a government's attempt to erase them from history, and to heal from the damage that had done and has continued to do over with generational trauma. For non-Indigenous people, it's an opportunity to listen to these stories, to understand that this really happened, and that while it wasn't their fault, how they react to the truth will be their fault, their responsibility. It gives non-Indigenous people an opportunity to look at historical events and historical figures through different eyes. And believe me, that's hard. Me, I'm a big fan. I was always a big fan of Sir Wilfrid Laurier, but he made it illegal for Indigenous people to vote, and he didn't shut down the residential system. So he did a lot of positive things, but he also caused and permitted to be caused an incredible amount of harm. So, let's get to the show. I mean, we all came here for metal, so let's go. Hi there. Let's start the video. You're going to be listening to this collection of traditional Haudenosaunee music. Iroquois is a French mispronunciation of a Wendat or Huron word for their ancient enemies, the Haudenosaunee. They call them the killer people. And Iroquois, Haudenosaunee, Longhouse Confederacy, Longhouse people. This is performed and arranged by G. Buck, R. Sprague, and J. E. Thomas. So hope you like this stuff. So let's start off with something from a non-Indigenous person. It's just the one song off of the album, Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast. Yep, you already know what I'm going to be talking about, but it should be mentioned. It was a big hit, Run to the Hills. It was about the expulsion of, the Trail of Tears, the expulsion of the Cherokee people from their own land. There's another song that is a popular subject, I guess, from another band that's going to mention this very same event. And it was about, I think the story goes, The United States recognized the sovereignty of the Cherokee Nation, gave them gave them a big chunk of territory. Then a bunch of white people discovered, I don't know if it was oil or gold or like, I don't know, cabbages or something on the land. And then that was it. The U.S. annexed the territory, and the Cherokee got squeezed down to a little itty bitty chunk of land. And there was a lot of people, the Trail of Tears was all the Cherokee people leaving their homes and their land. Also, a lot of free blacks and escaped slaves joined this Trail of Tears as well. And yeah, so run to the hills, run for your life. Okay, and the second one I'm going to be mentioning is, well, this is a split. It came out in 2020 from Goat Rex. It's a split of Ifenak and Pan American Native Front. This is a really, really good album. Pan American Native Front's part on this is, it's just fantastic. I mean, War Belts of Death to the Garrisons. That is such a good song. Oh my God, I love it. It's kind of more, maybe I'll get you a better look at the cover. It's a little bit more kind of Finnish black metal-ish rather than the super primitive style, although it still has aspects of, I mean, just look at the band, look at the two guys. This guy here is a curator of war. He's the guy that does Pan American Native Front, and the other guy here, who I will be getting to, is Finian Black Elk Patrick, who does Ifenak. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's about the Pan American Native Front. The other songs are about fighting the settlers, fighting the people invading their lands, taking their place, taking their homes. Finian Pet, or sorry, curator of war. I think he's originally Mexican, but the band is based out of Chicago, Illinois. And in here, he gives a shout, like, I guess they all give a shout out, really, so it's not really, I'm not really certain, but to a whole bunch of different indigenous nations across Canada and the United States. So that's nice. Yeah, Native American death metal, indigenous black metal, or black metal, what am I saying, not death metal. But I mean, look at that frickin' art. I can't remember the name of the guy who did the art on it. It's written here, but right now there seems to be a bit of a strike with eye doctors in Ontario because the government's being dicks to them. My eyes have been going, and I'm just getting out of the frickin' pandemic, and I still can't afford to go get my eyes looked at. Well, anyway, I do highly recommend this. They have other albums like Tecumseh's War, and Little Turtles War, and I've been, trying to find this stuff on Bandcamp. It's not Bandcamp, but Discogs is, like hundreds of dollars. So I'll have to wait, I guess, for them to reissue it. Okay, another one. This is, you guys probably all know this band, classic. They'll probably be the last one standing of the golden age of thrash, the originators of thrash. Testament from California, United States. These guys, they're, well, okay. Most of them are from the States, but Chuck Billy, who is, he's the indigenous content in the band. He's from the Pomo people. The Pomo were a group of 7 different nations, that spoke similar languages in the area, like somewhere, like, what was it, Lake, what do they call? How do they divide? County, Lake County. I think only 4 of their languages are still being spoken. One of them was saved by the guy, Eglund or something, the guy who created the Klingon language. I actually talked to him at a convention in Toronto, and he told me about how he how he brought back a dead Indigenous language. So that's pretty awesome. Unfortunately, I don't think Chuck Billy's ancestral language is among the ones that has survived. But yeah, and of course, it's odd that he didn't. I for the life of me, I can't think of any Indigenous themed songs that he did until Native Blood, which is the second track on this one. Yeah, I mean, this is a great album. This album, it reminds me that Testament they still had it. This came out in what is it, 2018? I think. No, it was longer ago than that. Oh my God, a lot longer ago. It makes me feel old. But anyway, it's a fantastic album, and the song I want to talk about is Native Blood. That's about getting picked on and being beaten up and having to deal with all the crap that you do in the States. I guess being Indigenous. He's also, I think his mother who was Mexican, and his father was Pomo. Anyway, there's Native Blood, get out of my way, I got something to say, again, it's classic Testament, it's, and it just has that fantastic Testament, that classic, timeless Testament sound. Maybe they're not, one of the most amazing, technically amazing, like super aggressive, thrash bands, but they still got it, man. They still got it. I haven't heard their latest album, Tides of Creation. I never picked that one up. So that's 2, 3 down. Another one is Germans. Except this album came out a few years ago. I think another 2018. I think I can't remember. From what was it? Who put this out? God, I need freaking glasses. Anyway, I don't think it's not, anyway. So yeah, there you go. Blind Rage from Accept. This, again, a solid album. And the song I want to talk about here is Trail of Tears. It's the 5th song on the CD, on the album. Again, that's about the Trail of Tears. And it's good, solid, like galloping drums. You just get the sense that you're, to make a reference to an Iron Maiden song, galloping high on the plains. Anyway, great. It's another, and another solid album from a band that just seems to keep going. Thanks Jimmy K from Metal Voice for convincing me to buy this, because I like it. I didn't expect to like it, but I did. Here we go. And here's another one. And the last one, I guess. From a band started by Finian Black Elk Patrick. I'm guessing he's part Irish Catholic and part Gespegawagi. Gaspeg is the original name for the Gaspé Peninsula in Quebec. They are they're a part of the Mi'kmaq collection of people, but they are pretty far removed from the main area of the Mi'kmaq, which is like Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and parts of Maine, I believe. But I guess they were, before Europeans came, they kept in touch with their coastal brethren through the Abenaki Confederacy, which was like a United, anyway, I don't want to get too much into Indigenous history, but he's Gespegawagi, and this. Let's see. This was originally put out digitally as just Wastau. Wastau only had 2 songs on it. Keswick, Dethroned King of the Northeastern Woodlands, and Glooskap, Lord of Beasts and Human Beings. But it got a solid real world release as a what do they call this? A 5A. Anyway, they put it out like this. So that's pretty cool. Like the art is fantastic from Necro Art Productions, and I picked it up as soon as I could because I had just picked up his first album, Magtoek Nakaset, which is fantastic stuff. Again, there's some of the interior there. Yeah, it's all about most of the stuff on here is about the Indigenous experience and Indigenous, old stories. The one I want to talk about is about Glooskap. Glooskap was a demigod hero of the Mi'kmaq storytelling tradition, who is credited with a lot of firsts for human society, like he discovers fire, understands the movements of the stars, fights, he fought his evil brother, he fought off monsters and like an evil sorcerer, and I remember as growing up in Nova Scotia, he clawed up land from under the sea to create land for the Mi'kmaq people to live, and that became like the Canadian Maritime Provinces. This album, this song, Glooskap, Lord of Beasts and Human Beings, is like an abridged version of Glooskap's story. And again, it's this one is it's hard to pin down the style, but it is very, very much less of the like the primitive kind of punky, almost like not quite punky, but just like very primitive sound of his first album. A little bit wider the sound, a little bit more instrumentation, but it's fantastic, and just like his vocal performance, I just love it. And they also from where's it? Put this out. Here's they put out another, and I have a feeling I've shown you this before. I don't know if I have, but they put out just early this year. Who did it? Why can't I remember? And it's not on here. Anyway, I think I got this, I think, from his Bandcamp. But what is it? Asrar, I guess, is the name of the record company or whoever published this. I don't know. But look at this. Cool, neat looking blue color. I don't know how close you can see that. Pretty plain label. But it's the music that really matters. I love the feel of the texture to it. Hopefully that's not too close. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know how close I gotta get for you to get a good look at this. But this is like this album. This one here was a combination of the Wastau EP, which I just talked about, and another EP called Wakan, which also had just a couple of songs on it. And again, not to go over this again, but this one was a combination of Wastau and just a bunch of random songs from like other albums that his compilations he was part of, type of thing. So so I mean, I hope you may consider picking up some of this stuff. It's good, again. I think one of the other metal YouTubers, Brain Smasher, did an article in issue 2 of Arcane. This one here, right there. I did an interview with a curator of war, talking about the music. Give them all a try, and I don't know what else to say. I'm hopeful that the Orange Shirt Day and the Day of Truth and Reconciliation becomes something that gets everybody to talk about what happened. And it's pretty hard, pretty hard, because like I'm adopted, but as far as I know, some biological family members may have been put through this horrible experience of the residential schools. And that's something that anyway, yeah, so enjoy the music, and thanks for watching. Again, if you like this type of stuff, you want to hear more, press the little bell, follow, subscribe to my channel, and most importantly, I'd like you to click the like button. That way, this type of content is seen a lot more. And keep the metal spirit alive. Thanks.